Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Humor in Chaos podcast. I am Sarah Howard Nelson, and I am here with my friend Pam Logan. I am a resilience coach, certified life coach, excuse me, and a certified art therapy practitioner. And today, as I said, I'm here with my friend Pam, and let me tell you a little bit about Pam, because she's going to tell us her story. Pam is single. She is an entrepreneur. She is a former pharmacy tech. She is a hairdresser, and you know what? She actually does a lot of stuff. She is a jack of all trades. She just kind of does a little bit of everything. So, Pam, hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Good.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I think, you covered a lot of it. I did have a dream that I kind of did. I went down to LA and did a little acting, kind of tested the waters with that. So that was kind of fun.
You like LA?
Yeah, it had its definite good and bad moments. But yeah, it was fun. I got to work on all the studios. Just did extra work, but I did get a Good Morning America promo. So that was fun. So yeah. Yeah, I started kind of dabbling in it when I lived in Seattle.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I lived in Seattle for 46 years and I just moved over here about a year ago to Boise.
Okay.
That's how I met you.
That's how you met me. Yes, we both moved here to Boise roughly the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
found each other online.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
That's what you've been doing.
Just kind of keeping myself afloat. Never been married. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today.
Right.
About how you can be joyful, even though I know it's very hard to that feeling you get of not being married, I mean, I've always wanted to be married. I've just never found Mr. Right. And I have a great little quote or paragraph at the end that kind of says it all.
Mhm. So you've never been married, just want to be clear. You've never
No,
been married,
never.
but you've dated.
Oh, I've dated. I haven't dated in a while. I've had quite a dry spell, but that's because I've been so busy working and trying to get my business back up and moving and things like that. So I haven't really even wanted to. I mean, I've been trying to work on myself for the last several years. So it just hasn't come into play. But before that, I mean, high school, all through the years, up until a very, very bad traumatic relationship I had, I dated all the time.
Mhm.
I've been proposed to a couple times, turned them down. Very happy that I did because it would have just ended in
Disaster.
disaster. So, yeah. So I kind of been through the wheel, as far as the relationship, ups and downs. I mean, it's kind of I guess you could say I kind of have a love-hate relationship with men. And I'm still trying to figure out why. I mean, I think I'm almost there, but basically, I always try to go out and do new things, meet new people. I'm not one of these, oh gosh, I can't go do it alone. I think every woman out there, or single person, man or woman, should go out and, start doing things on your own because
Yes.
sometimes you have to force yourself. Seriously. I mean, there have been many times I'd rather stay on the couch and curl up and watch TV. But, sometimes it's like, I can't do this all the time.
Right.
And so I have to force myself. And, sometimes I'll go out and it'll turn out, nothing bad, but nothing happens that you think, you go out with hope. So maybe I'll meet somebody. But other times you're joyfully surprised. So you just never know.
You just never know. I remember the first time going out to dinner by myself after my divorce. And I similar thing. I was just kind of laying around and I was like, no, Sarah, you gotta get up
Yeah.
off the couch and you gotta go
Mhm.
do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I took myself out to dinner and um I dreaded the first few minutes and then after that it wasn't so bad. Then it was
Mhm.
actually kind of nice. It was kind of relaxing. For anybody who can hear that whining in the background, that is Pam's dog Sassy.
She wants to be part of it.
She
but
wants to be in the conversation. Sassy single too.
You're okay. So anyway, yes, yes. And it's funny because, I'm 68 years old. I feel kind of odd that I haven't been married, but it's not like I haven't had my chance. I've been out with a lot of men, but I'm going to be honest, I've had 20 plus years of dry spell. I've dated a few here and there, but the last relationship really, really did me in. I mean, he beat me up, I had to put him in jail and it was a horrific experience. So when you go through something that traumatic, it's sometimes you don't even want anything to do with it anymore.
That's
And
understandable.
I do. I mean, I think as humans, as women and men, we all want a relationship. We all want somebody that we can grow old with. But I've just succumbed to the fact that maybe it's not going to happen. So I strive every day to just keep working on myself and, you know, um, I hear women all the time, I'll say, because I've gone on trips. I mean, I drove down to LA and just found a place to live all by myself. I
Mhm.
mean, that was courageous enough in
That's very
itself,
courageous to do.
but I mean, I go on trips. My last trip was a bucket list thing, and I'm glad I did that, to Costa Rica. And I just hear so many people, especially women, that, oh my gosh, I just could never do that by myself.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
First, let's focus in on what that was like for you, that drive down to LA. How did that feel?
Scary. Scary, exhilarating, excited. It's funny because I was all packed, all ready to go. Sassy went with me, my dog. And as I sat in the driveway for about 5 minutes, all ready to go, I had released out my condo in Seattle, had it all, everything was all set. And I sat in the driveway and I'm like, what are you doing? It literally scared me to death. It's like, okay, what are you doing? What is, and I had to force myself to back out of the driveway and head down the freeway and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be very scary on your own.
Yeah.
So, but what was your motivation to do it? Because I mean, you're right. That is a courageous thing to do. That's not just leaping into a pool. That is leaping into the ocean.
Exactly.
So what was your
Exactly.
motivating factor to even contemplate it?
I guess, part of my thing is, I guess like anybody, I mean, especially the actors, it's like, I kind of want to make a name for myself and I'm determined to do it. I have a lot of determination.
Yes.
But sometimes it gets in my way
Oh, interesting.
because I have so much drive and determination that I push myself too hard on other people and things. And sometimes that backfires. So it's been a real learning curve to kind of rein that in and
Know when to use it.
know
When
when
not.
to, soften up, so to speak.
It's a very good point. So now when you got down to LA, you didn't have a place to live.
Well, actually, I had an Airbnb.
You had an
I had
Airbnb.
set up, and that turned out to be kind of a disaster. It did not turn out like I had thought it would. And so I scrambled. Luckily, within 3 weeks, I had found a girl that was moving out of her apartment. She lived right across the street from the New York Film Academy and Warner Brothers, which was cool. And she wanted, one of those things would take over my lease. So I was lucky enough to find a studio that way.
Nice.
And was there, the rest of the remainder of the time. But yeah, it was downright scary, I mean, I didn't like the Airbnb situation at all. But spending 3 weeks, literally, I mean, I must have talked to, gone to like over 50 places just to find a roommate and, something. And
But you didn't give up.
no,
You
well, I
didn't
couldn't.
Well, you
I
didn't.
couldn't. I didn't want to end up in my car.
You
So,
didn't. Lots of people in LA living in their cars.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was very interesting, but it's like when you drive yourself and it's like so many people don't think they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have to, you have to.
Yes.
You just do it,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know. And luckily for me, I mean, I had a lot of trauma growing up, and everything. My trauma has been a lot of emotional stuff, where a lot of other people's traumas may have been addictions.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for me, I've never been an addict of any sort, which, I think if I was alcoholic or whatever, that probably would have made things even twice as bad. So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, that's a blessing in disguise. The thing is that, kind of all the guys that I did have a chance to be with, and, apparently the last one obviously was, it's like as a lot of women, we try to rescue them.
Yeah.
And we try to think, oh, well, if I can just get them to really love me, I'll be somebody.
Right.
And they will love me, they would be so grateful. Doesn't quite work that way.
No, and I like how you just touched on that. We do that. We have a tendency to get our identity from our partners.
Exactly.
So how did you escape that when you realized that was becoming a problem?
Well, when somebody gets a gun out and says they're going to kill you,
you better run.
Yeah, that was quite the wake-up call, But I mean, he was crazily, so high out of his mind, but it's like I keep asking, why do I feel the need to have this pull to these relationships? And, a lot of it was, like I said, just wanting, I figured if I could gain somebody's self-love from that, that would make me the person. But women do it all the time.
Yeah.
And then they stay in abusive relationships, and it's really sad.
Yes. Yes. So let's do a comparison. They can handle sass and wine in the background. Let's do a comparison. Let's do what was great about being in a relationship, and then what is even better about being alone.
Well, what was great, of course, every relationship's, I don't care what it is, it starts out with the honeymoon phase, and you think everything's wonderful, everything's just so great, and then, about a month into it, you start, the hiccups start, and
Yes.
I guess, the first part was fun. I mean, you like to go out to have somebody to go out to dinner with, and have somebody to take car rides with, and go on little excursions, and even, stay the night or whatever, I mean, that's part of what human nature is, I guess, what draws us. And all of that's fun up until you start getting abused, either physically or emotionally.
Yes.
Most of the time, I would say it starts out emotionally.
Yes, I would agree.
And when you can recognize that and get out of its way quickly, but I didn't recognize it. I didn't want to recognize it. I
Yeah.
wanted to believe that I could change it and that it was just all a matter of, the other person was sick and I was going to help them overcome that.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah. We're raised as young girls, as we grow older, that it's our responsibility to give our heart fully to someone, and that's gonna make them a better person. When in reality, it's not our responsibility in the first place. It's
yeah,
their own responsibility. It has nothing to do with being a man or a woman. We're all responsible for our own
exactly.
mental health, emotional health, our own actions, decisions.
Yeah. And the other part of that was why didn't like what I didn't like about it. Well, the obvious, I mean, just the emotional abuse and physical, I was one of these women that said, well, I will never let a guy hit me. And you never really know it's coming until it does.
Right. Yes.
Yes. He was the one and only that ever did, thank God, but it was enough to scare me.
It didn't become a pattern for you, the physical.
No. And like I said, I mean, I put him in jail,
How do you feel about that now?
Yeah, well, I had to do what I had to do. I don't feel bad.
Good.
I know when he got out, he'd say things like, well, don't ever expect me not to hit you again, because I will.
How did you escape that?
It just took a lot of waking up. Because even at that point, I still wanted him to change. I still thought I could save him.
Right.
And how ridiculous is that? I mean, women out there, please listen. I mean, if you're in this situation at all, you cannot do it. I mean, I know we want to so badly, but you can't. And the longer you stay in relationships, if anybody is out there dealing with this right now, the longer you stay in relationships like that, the more dangerous it is.
Yes, it doesn't get better without, at minimum, without professional help, but both people have to search that out, especially the one doing the abuse.
Exactly. And they have to search it out for themselves.
Yes.
Not like a together as couple. You both have to have that. And I think that's why I've been single for so long. I mean, there's still always that little bit of fear. And I want to read this to you because this says it all. I mean, it really does. I don't know what you call this, just a big paragraph. But it really, really hit home to me. And I think that with what this says, it says that it's okay not to have a relationship. I mean, it's human nature. I get that, it really is. But at the cost of killing yourself, basically, over trying to handle all these emotions that come with it. It's just, anyway, but I will read this. Not every relationship is meant to end in marriage. Some are meant to bring you back to yourself, revealing truths about your worth, your boundaries, and what you truly deserve. Others may shake your peace, distort your trust, or make you question your value, not to leave you bitter, but to leave you clear-eyed. You learn that forced love is lonelier than solitude. That silence is kinder than empty words. And that peace matters more than just having someone beside you. Some connections exist to show you what you don't want, exposing red flags you once overlooked, reminding you how much you once settled, so you never do it again. Singleness isn't a waiting room for love. It's a sacred space. Time to grow, dream, and refuse to shrink for anyone. If a relationship didn't lead to a ring, but brought you self-respect, clarity, and deeper self-love, it served its purpose. And that's enough. Some paths don't lead to forever. They lead you home to yourself, and that's powerful. And I want to add that sometimes, even with divorce, and I've not been divorced, but sometimes there can be more than one or two people even out there that are meant for you to have a relationship with, even if it is a couple marriages. I don't think there's any one true exact love for everybody. I think you can have a couple of them through your lifetime.
Yes, it's really, it's really a matter of choosing someone and then both of them working on themselves and on the
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
That's really what makes a healthy
Yeah.
relationship.
And I think the reason that it's taken me so long to find somebody is that the part about me keeping me, I'm almost terrified of getting into one and having that dissolve, because I've worked so hard to get it kind of where I think I want it to be. And it scares me that I might take 20 steps backwards.
Hmm. Right. So, because you still have that desire to be loved, to want to
Oh,
love someone and
absolutely.
to
Yeah,
be loved.
absolutely.
And
I know.
that's normal. That's human nature because we are created to be essentially
Exactly.
pack animals.
Exactly.
We're made for relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
So the desire to be in a relationship is entirely normal. What becomes abnormal is when people don't
Yeah.
put their best foot forward and work on making themselves grow. Because here's the thing, here's the question. You had a healing journey.
Still going on.
Still going on. That
Yeah.
was the point I wanted to make, is do you see an ending to this healing journey?
Oh, I don't think we ever stop healing or stop growing. I see much joyfuller things in the last few years than I ever have, even though it still, stings.
Right.
The other thing is, as a little girl or teenager, whatever, I mean, I still grow up with the idea of, how the wedding I want, the horse and carriage and the whole dream of the women's dream of a wedding. But then the other thing you have to ask yourself is this, some women get married and they spend thousands on a wedding, and they get in and they do it. I mean, I think I heard Dr. Phil ask or tell somebody one time that, are you getting married for the wedding or are you getting married for the marriage?
Right. I have said that to women and some women have appreciated. There's been a handful of women who've gotten angry at me for that. And it's like, oh yeah, you're in it for the wedding. You're in it for the ceremony, the day to feel like a princess. And there's nothing wrong
with that,
as long as you've got it in proper perspective that what you're doing is supposed to be, a commitment to someone. It's not necessarily about that day.
Exactly. I mean, the day is just icing on the cake,
Right.
But it starts the icing on the cake. And I guess by the time you get to the cake, if you don't work on keeping it, what's the word, like fresh, it's gonna fall apart.
Right. Right. That is true. That's a great way to put it.
So,
So now that you've gone through and you've explored with yourself, the fact that up to this point yet, you've not been married, you've not been in a full-on committed relationship, and you've embraced the single life. So what are the things about the single life that you're grateful for, that you're able to do?
I can do anything I want, anytime, the way I want to do it. I don't have to, ask, oh, you know, I don't have to ask questions. I don't have to ask anybody. This is okay, whatever. I can come and go. Yeah, I mean, it's a total freedom that a lot of people don't ever experience,
This is true.
you know, which is kind of sad. I mean, not saying that, you know, me being single for 68 years is fun either. I mean, I'm sad about it. I'm going to be honest. I'm very sad. I want to meet somebody, but I will know when I guess, well, you know, it's like they say, I probably will meet somebody when my alignment and my soul know that I won't take those 20 steps backwards.
Very good point.
Yeah. And, you know, if I guess at this point, if it never happens, then I'm gonna have to just continue on and try to, you know, enjoy my life. You know, I mean, in today's world, it is hard. I mean, financially speaking, it's very hard.
Yes, our economy is not conducive to
No.
single life for women.
And it's, you know, so that's a scare. Not that by any means that's all I want out of a relationship, but it's a factor. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, two people's incomes today are, you know, almost essential.
Yes,
So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of variables.
right. And it's sexy. So, let's talk a bit about Costa Rica.
Okay.
So what was your motivation for going to Costa Rica?
Well, it's been a bucket list. And my next place is going to be South America.
Specific place or just anywhere?
Well, I don't know. I haven't determined that yet. You know, I want to go I'm trying to conjure up in my mind how I can get a horseback trip
Oh, yes.
too, because I would love to ride through the Andes.
So Pam does ride.
Yeah, I ride horses.
She rides horses.
That's a great therapy in itself, but you know, not everybody is a horse animal person. In fact, to be honest with you, sometimes I always laugh at myself. I joke, you know, well, I'd rather have an awesome horse than a man.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, because animals are they're so gratifying, and they don't abuse you. You know, if anything, man abuses them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
yeah, so
And they have a way of giving you boundaries if
Mhm.
you're mistreating them.
oh yeah, yeah. But with Costa Rica, it was just a bucket list. I hadn't been on a vacation in 8 years. So I decided before my last Christmas time in Seattle, I decided to just go. You know, but you know, as you get older, you want to kind of keep that up. So I mean, I have a couple more bucket lists, and yeah.
So what'd you do in Costa Rica?
Just went to the beach a lot. Met a couple of really nice people. Yeah, it was fun, very relaxing. Just it was an all exclusive, which was nice. I'd never had done that before. So I could drink and eat anything I wanted anytime. It was very nice.
I would rather do that than a cruise ship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cruise ships I don't, I've been on one, but now and they had a pool and yeah, it was just lovely time. It wasn't long enough. I should have, I think the South American one will be at least a good 10 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm looking at, well, there's several places, Brazil, Peru, anywhere near or Argentina, you know, but probably will have to get a travel agent again because trying to schedule something in that kind of country by yourself can be daunting.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you know people there.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law has family in Ecuador, so my son
Oh,
has gone there
oh,
with her, and
okay.
but they stay with family. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they say it's just beautiful.
yeah.
I don't blame you. I think, oh, yeah, South
Uh-huh.
America would be great. That'd be wonderful. Okay, well, do you have any words for somebody who, like you, has never been married and really, really, really wishes that they would find, Mr. Right? I actually know someone in my private life who, like you, is she's in her mid-50s and has never found the right person. Has been a handful of relationships in her past, but never been married. And she, has I think like you has recently just more embraced the single life and
Mhm.
it seems like she's doing a great deal better. So somebody like her, or even pre that, not quite to that point of,
Mhm.
looking for what can still be wonderful about being single, what would you say to that person?
Well, I would say that I don't know if patience is the right word, but I'd say just keep in your mind that you're not going to give up and that, the healthier you can get and the more solid you can make that determination of you're not going to settle, I think the better your chances. And I tell myself that every morning I wake up. So just keep pushing forward and like I said, like the paragraph I read, I mean, sometimes we're not meant for marriage and there's nothing, I guess what I want to portray is there's nothing wrong with you if you never get married.
Right.
There really isn't. Society has made it out to be that if you're not in the status quo, that you're just horrible.
Right.
And that's horrible in itself. So,
Right. Because you don't get your identity from your marital status
exactly.
anyway. You
Exactly.
get it from
Mhm.
within, regardless of your marital
And
status.
I personally, I just see it 80+% marriages out of what I see are all built out of insecurity.
Yeah,
And I mean, do you really want that?
no.
So,
I agree with you. I think a lot of times people get married because of the fear of being alone.
well, or taken care of, or all of it, all of the above.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And that's just
Yeah.
not,
Or the fact that they don't want to look stupid in front of, society.
right.
So, but you're not stupid. So don't, don't, don't beat yourself up.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Thank you, Pam.
You are
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
So,
So this is the Humor and Chaos podcast. And if you or anyone you know would be a great guest on this podcast, make sure you give me a shout out at my email, humorinchaos@gmail.com. Or you can look me up on my website, www.humorinchaos.com. And all right, we'll see you all next time.
thank you, Sarah.